stream. We're getting ready for dinner in 5 minutes. So yeah.
You little beauty. This is her. We all know big time sports about honouring the past, owning the future. Yep, and that's exactly where we're at. This weekend. Celebrating Retro Round and at the very same time beginning the most intriguing period in our game, the run to the finals. Rugby League's Christmas in July. Get this, Super Saturday. It's the Raiders and the Warriors, followed by the Panthers and the Sharks. Then a fantastic finale, the Rabbitohs and the Storm. The good news for Ricky's Raiders is they're chasing their third straight win at home. This irritating enigma, Sean Johnson. For some reason, the Radical Johnson rips against the Raiders. Here in 2013, he beat them single-handedly. 2018, that's him kicking not one, but 2 field goals in the dying minutes. And in round 8 this year, 12. So it's the Raiders and Warriors at 3, followed by these post-origin Panthers, scarily back to full strength, and Fitzy Sharks. Both genuine contenders, both hot to trot. Finally, Saturday night, Latrell and his sidekick Cody Walker come out to play against Bellyache Storm. There's no doubt Cody Walker makes Souths 10 points better when Latrell's also in the side. Sure, Melbourne's won 7 in a row against Souths. 7. But there's something not quite right about the Storm. And to be keeping Coach Bellamy up at night, which is scary in itself, because there's none better nor more cranky. Watch all the big guys go in the run to September, the run to the finals. Beginning with Retro Round this Super Saturday, live and in 4K Ultra HD, only on Fox One.
Great to be with you on a Friday night Retro Round. We've been having some fun. Walking down memory lane, and indeed Manly have brought into it as well. They've got a little bit of tradition there on the jerseys tonight. This is such an important game, the race for the top 8. Real semi-final stuff, if you like, for the Dragons in particular. And Manly, they want to keep on their roll. They want to keep ahead of the likes of the Roosters and the Raiders nipping at their heels. Corey Parker, my co-commentator, what do you expect from this one? A COVID hit Manly side playing tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Bossy. Good evening, everyone home. Yeah, you mentioned that the COVID has gone through the Manly Seagulls. 3 players not involved tonight. 3 integral players, Jacob Boyovich, Lachlan Croker, and also Andrew Davies. So 3 of their starting forwards not available tonight. So they'll be extremely decimated to start. But no, Desi Hasler, there's no one in the league that loves back against the wall football better than Desi Hasler. And the Manly Seagulls, they've been terrific over the last month. They've got a couple of wins back-to-back. They're the best attacking team over the last 4 weeks. So they're certainly coming into this one, albeit a few players down with a lot of confidence.
Well, I was blown away by, well, the Dragons were blown away as well by what we witnessed last week on the Central Coast. They conceded 42 second-half points against the Roosters, so they have to correct that. There'll be more tackles at any side of the league, the Dragons. But this is a big one. They're falling home. They're talking about Australia's good, so there's a bit to talk about the Dragons. But over to the Seagulls, they will be first out on the next Strata Jubilee. There's been a fair bit of rain around.
Mum, those jerseys look pretty good.
Shortly, it is a good-looking ground, but there's obviously a bit of surface water and can be a bit slippery as well, which might take the edge off the attack.
Those jerseys look pretty cool. Those jerseys look pretty cool. Huh? Yeah, they don't. They have those purposely made for the Smash because it's called Retro Round. Yeah, cause mum. What? When these two played? This is the first time they played all year. Huh? No, it's Retro Round. It's Retro Round.
speak for themselves. Tackle basket 4, 14.
But mum, the first time they played last year, the Dragons won. But the Dragons are coming off a back-to-back loss.
Bailey Cherry Evans plays his
And the Seagulls are looking to win 3 in a row, mum. Mum?
plays his 284th.
Hey, mum.
Then you got rookies like
Mum. Mum, take
Oh,
good.
she turned away to me.
Take a stupid thing out.
Hello.
Mum. Mum, because the Dragons are coming off back-to-back loss, and the Seagulls are trying to get 3 wins in a row.
Dragons are 11th. They are separated by just 1 win, the 2 competition points. Underway, Friday night, right here on Fox League, the only place where you see the double. And it is a Maroon with the ball from the kickoff and a rather long pass to the
KLB, this is mine, in this case you're wondering.
truly carted back in the first tackle.
Does anyone see my phone?
No!
This is Laurie with the ball.
Backtrack me like that.
I knew it was up there. You were sitting on the floor again, weren't you?
Why?
Thank you.
At least 7 of those through injury, 3 through origin. And COVID finally got him. Now Ben Hunt.
Mum, why is she on the floor? Mum, why is she on the floor?
He's making some pasta.
Huh?
Apprentice there at 5'8" tonight. Now Stewart up to halfway. Dylan Walker starting hooker for Manly. First time in the starting side this year. And Hunt with the first kick of the night. Nice and high. Carrick underneath it. And Manly had their first possession. The chase was one big straight line from the Dragons.
It was a handy start from the Dragons. They got out of their own end quite nicely. They come shift down the right hand side. Assad has a little juggle. But defensively is where the Dragons really need to get a lot better over recent weeks. Been leaking a lot of points as they can see an early penalty in the opening set for the men with Seagulls who will get out of their own end quite easily.
Been obliged every week when we do the Dragons games. It's just incredible. His first try scoring trend. Last week again, conceded the first try, lost the match. They are 0-9 when they've conceded the first try this year. They are 8-0 when they've scored the first try. It's an almost unbelievable statistic, and the first try becomes so vital. And Manly have had a recent run of getting the first 4 pointers, which might read bad for the Dragons. On the outside, slipping on the outside was Lomax. That created half an opportunity there for Garrick. It's a tangle with a moan. Here is Walker. And simply lifted. Still got the offload. Who wants it? Kepi or Cherry Evans? Big Kepi goes back for it. Manly 38 metres away from the Dragons' line. Walker, Cherry Evans, working that right side. Olakoautu is such a weapon. Moses Sealy out there tonight. You've got 2 of the best tackle busters in the competition with Amoli and Sully. Here he is again. He's beaten a couple there. Was looking to offload. Last tackle play for Manly, 10 metres away from the line. Big kick across the face if they want it. Cherry Evans goes hard and low. It felt way too hard.
Yeah, we've seen that kick once before from Cherry Evans. Tries to kick it on the bend and it actually turns round, comes back into the field of play. This time here there's been plenty of rain, as you mentioned, and skidded straight over the dead ball line.
Get his shot off! You stupid woman. You stupid ass clown.
Obviously plays such an integral role in that length of tickle between his heart.
Fine. Dad won't mind.
Yeah, piss off.
They've now got Garrick and Ford, the other 2 players who have played in every game this year. Back there is Tom Kavorovich. Tell you what, sharing the dugout, Brett Stewart, there's some talent from different eras. Ball uploaded by Laurie, kept alive by Bird, a little chance on the left. And Billy Burns in his second game for the year tackled for the Dragons. 25 metres from the line, they set up to centre field with Hunt. Bellin, it looked like a juggle, he's lost control of it. Although they're saying Manly knocked him down, and this will still be pressure on the Seagulls.
It was building quite nicely for the Dragons. Benny Hunt getting his hands on the ball, looking to play back on the inside.
To the side playing the ball. It's actually not one Dragons.
Over a touch from Manly Seagulls on the first glance.
with this knee problem here at the moment, it appears. Still on his haunches. Yeah, or his shin.
Right ankle or shin. They can't afford Olakawatu, who's been exceptional out on that edge. 75 tackle bust, 9 tries already in the opening couple of sets. Has made his mark on Benny Hunt.
There's a little bit of instability there, the trainer doing the test. I mentioned the tackle busters. Sewell's a huge loss, 81.
Oh yeah, just got caught under the bellum when he went through.
Hey baby, we got a homeless person sitting on our kitchen floor.
Hey, Bella! Bella!
This one out.
Someone's on the floor.
Get out into those containers down there, please.
That food is moving real freely at this stage.
It will be a
Scrum feed.
So the pressure relieved on the Sea Eagles. Using formation from a scrum, so deep inside their own half. And working on the left side with Morgan Harper. That's Ben has been hit hard there. And he's getting a taste of the Cobra surface as well. Let's go. Oh, loose ball there. That's pressure. And the Blacks still trying to run out the leg injury. I don't think Olakau'atu was all that keen about that. Let's go on the sideline for the first time tonight. Larrapin loving it, being at the Dragons, or one of the home grounds of the Dragons.
Yeah, well, despite there being rain around before kick-off, obviously the fans have filed in. Grandstand behind us here is filling up. Was a fair bit of rain before kick-off, but that has stopped in time for the play. I guess indicating how slippery it is out there was how got taken out there by
Once it reaches its temperature, it'll shut down.
So Moga on the run back there. The Dragons getting a start again. This is fourth of the
Set
year.
up for like that.
Last sideline, long term with a serious hamstring problem.
We've already seen the opening stage of this game. Manly Seagulls doing Walker come up with a pass that hit the ground. Obviously no lock on. So that combination of stone break down.
Go a minute.
No Jake Trebojevic, so we've seen that link not be in play as yet.
20 metres away from the Manly line right now. It is time to try and shine early. 15 metres away from the line. Bird playing it. On the slap basically on the set restart play for the Dragons. Inside the 10, Manly. Cullick for Amon and Hunt. Just keep them guessing. Laurie straight and held up 7 away from the line. They lined up left, and that is the way they cut. McCulloch's kick. Well, there's never going to be a chase to get to it, but it will get them a repeat set. But certainly not a kick that the outside men were any chance to get to.
It was a nice little kick from the veteran there at acting half. Got the jump on his teammates, just threaded the needle nicely. Get a repeat set.
Hello.
Most likely out this left-hand side with Billy Burns in card. Ben Hunt. The right-hand side of the Manly Seagulls has been their downfall. 38 tries they've conceded down that side. So look for the Dragons to set up right and go left.
So the Dragons with the job off to Bellum to take the first run back. And the ball has just popped up in the hands of Sipley. And a penalty is the call. See the Dragons, it's a two-pointer quite easily, really, from 28 out, just a little off centre. But they're thinking a little bigger than that. Starting to fake tactic. Underway in second attempt. Laurie with the ball. They dominate possession early, Manly, of the Dragons on the Manly line. The Billy Hunt and then Ramsey. Fullback again tonight. He's got 3 tries the last 2 weeks, Ramsey. Screen has been the centre of those tries being created. Bird right up to the line, puts Sir under a bit of pressure. Defence in his face, 10 metres away from the line. McCulloch, back left again. Bird and Hunt, and then the defence read it well.
It's a great read. Hold up, just come up out of the line. Notice that Mbye was going to be the one catching the ball and shut it down.
Again, with Hunt, a lot of ball movement from the Dragons. Laurie Effend runs into trouble one side, comes out the other. And then locks horns with Alloyer and also Walker. That's the fourth for the Dragons, still probing the Bellin. Hunt, another kick, the gun covered. Garrick takes it dead. There was one player for the Dragons got to check. Fans are up in arms about that, but it's a line dropout.
Yeah, once again, Benny Hunt just threading the needle, getting a repeat set. You're spot on, Bossy, as the rain starts to come down now. Plenty of ball movement from the Dragons going from one side to the other, asking plenty of questions at the edge defence of the Manly Seagulls.
So we're normally down that southern end of the ground, Mr. Ricky set up. He hasn't even turned up tonight. Too wet for him. And the other line dropout. Could be difficult for Lomax. Gets down to take it. And the set, Lomax against Temple. Wallace was looking to find the ground himself there. And then after that, he's done a dangerous tackle of his own on Morgan Harper. And the Dragons saw 4 metres away from the line. A little bit happening there. McCulloch, Amon, centre field for Bird, lined up still with Hunt, and then he goes the short pass, which is intercepted. Totally breaks down for the Dragons there. They got it horribly wrong.
Yeah, just got it all wrong there. Benny Hunt going across field. Jack Bird starting to play his hand with his hands on the ball, particularly inside the 20. His Queensland teammate DCE read the play beautifully. And both times, the Dragons have had an opportunity. They've come up with 2 repeat sets and 2 errors.
So Ben Trebojevic on the previous play. There's the first time. A Trebojevic being just there. No Jake, no Tom. Simply injured in that tackle. Unable to get up to play the ball. He's not claiming crush attack or anything of the like, is he? But he remained down. Sort of simply in his 50th NRL game tonight. So a little milestone for him. Martin Tapau coming off the bench tonight plays his 150th for Manly. He's gone down like a sack of sparks. So I see.
Some heavy contact from the Bella. Such a good defender. Didn't see any from the angles that we got that anything was high. He's back to play the ball now.
10 minutes gone, and no points. Cherry Evans kicks from outside the 30, not with the angle for a 40-20. Ramsey onto it for St George Illawarra. And driven sideways by the Chasers. In fact, he's been injured. Walker has signalled injury there.
Never thought to lose Ramsey.
Jeez, he's playing. Ramsey, is it?
He's been a real revelation since going back to that fullback role. Electric footwork, he must be an extreme amount of pain. Just gets his left shoulder.
Oh, the leg. Lower leg to Cody Ramsey. Your leg's not meant to do that. Slippery surface. The pain there, and Walker, sportsmanship straight away signals his opponent is the worse for wear. Fullback has been fantastic. This is 8th game at fullback, and has scored 5 tries in that time. By the way, I don't know whether it's a rather unflattering stat for the Dragons this year, but 5 is actually their leading tally. Individual tally. There's a handful of players who scored 5 tries, none better. It's not a bad stat if everyone's got 5 tries. Well, that's right. That's right. That's right. Thank you for it. Never like that tonight, is it?
Well, you've worn your players in for retro round.
Sure. Jordan's in discussion with the referee there. Just while we've got this little break in play, a little bit of history around the Dragons here tonight for St George Illawarra. This is actually their 100th game at Cochrane as the St George Illawarra Dragons. The first match was round 2, 1999. They've won 59 of 99 games and scored 399 tries in that time. So there were 99s in there. So there's some stats. We get away from the Fox Sports Lab, best in the business. And this is not good. Ramsey's night, it's over. And Tarek Sims is going to come on, which will cause quite the reshuffle. Just
just trying to get a bit of a grip on what may happen here. Jack Bird is in the 13-year-old. Tarek Sims coming on at the moment. Mbai is a chance of going back into that fullback role, which we see how it plays here.
Well, that's what they've done. They've definitely put Moses Mbai straight back to fullback, and it does look like Jack Bird has been
pushed out into left centre, where Mbai was. And then Tarek's gone on in the lock position. But nevertheless, I mean, Cody Ramsey doesn't look like he'll be returning this evening. A huge loss for the Dragons.
People have the news just as soon as it comes to hand on the injury to Ramsey. This is Laurie into the turf there. 18 minutes inside their own half. Tight opening penalty Dragons. This will push them up inside Manly's half again. Manly yet to have a tackle inside the Dragons 20 tonight. The one visit they did downfield, Cherry Evans put over the dead ball line. So 63% of the ball going St George Illawarra's way early. Back to last Saturday, they did actually lead the Roosters at half-time before capitulating. Now to Billon. Getting in position. We'll look for where Den Hutt bombs up. Here he's on the left, stumbling. And then by a little bit the same, to be honest. It's about the heaviest the rain's been all night. Clock's come down now for the first straight match, and Hutt slips, takes him under the defender. Then he burrows hard and scores. What a determined try from Ben Hutt. Now, the slip was not intentional, but it'll go down as a tackle bust. It got him past the defender.
Well, he's in a very, very purple patch at the moment, Benny Hutt, in career best form. We spoke about in the pre-game, when the Dragons going well, it's off the back of Ben Hutt. Nothing doing here, bit of pressure come up on the outside, comes off the right foot, goes up and under there off a slip, and then burrows down, like we've seen so many times before. They call him Dozer, and that's right. Just gets on down and crosses for a very important try for the team. And you mentioned it, Bossy, earlier on, when they score the first try, the Dragons, they have won all of 8 games this year. Is that an omen going into tonight's performance?
Well, it's been uncanny. Hunt gets the first try. 7 tries to score for the season. They're now 6 with 5, Corey. It's almost like you're rubbing it in. So he now becomes the equal leading try scorer for the year with 5 others. Lomax with a shot. Gee, this rain's come in. All of a sudden, the monsoon in the last few minutes here at Ned Strata Jubilee. Those out on the hill, they are hardy souls. Have a look at this. Lara's out in the middle of it. She's got some news on Katie Ramsey. 6-0 to the Dragons. They've made the start. 12.5 minutes in. Lara.
The Dragons doctor saying they're hopeful it is menial damage only to the knee of Cody Ramsey. He will, of course, be sent for scans, but I guess initially, good news at least, they're not thinking worse fears of ACL at this point.
Well, I think it didn't appear to be the standard-looking ACL, so hopefully that is correct, that it's just his MCL for Ramsey. As we see the conditions just continually getting worse. I mean, plays like that from Ben Hunt can be your best. One off the ruck, bit of footwork on some middle forwards, slip under a tackle and come up with a very important try. It's going from marginal weather to an absolute bludger in a very short space of time. And Sims took that run, coming into the match early. The injury to Ramsey, so Rimbai still at centre, was rather short-lived. The start of the centre this year, Lomax taken back in the tackle of Walker. It's played every game this year. The kick is from inside the 40. Garrick's got it covered. And he keeps up. You can't expect mistakes through the night. There's no way they can keep high completion rates, man. They've completed 4 of 4 so far. But that's all they've had. 4 sets in the opening 14 minutes of play. On that run. Back in for a try every game he plays at the moment. Got good form. Allier on this run. Back up to halfway. Walker. Then picking up on his left side, but the fence is all over it. And Kawhi Dragon's got some more or less folded in that tackle a little. He's a little worse for you now. Cherry Evans with a ball. And by underneath it, gets low, gets in the crouch position, comes up with a ball.
He just got a little shot there, as you mentioned. Ben Trebojevic lucky to get away with that. The Dragons just a little swinging out. Sean Kelly reeled out of the tackle only moments ago, grabbing his shoulder. May have been a burner. We'll just keep an eye on him as well as the Dragons get 6 more on Jack Bird.
Yeah, some good signs. They've got momentum at the moment. They've won 15 of 18 home games against the St George Illawarra Dragons. That's across Cobra and Wollongong. 6 of those 8 wins have come here. Now we're going back for penalty.
It's for a hand on ball penalty. That's what last one is called.
This is the first of the Friday night double here on Fox League in our retro round, and good tussle coming up. Next up, can Newcastle, can they find something tonight against James Tedesco's Roosters? Dragons on the attack, 30 metres away from the line. Laurie, he's had good numbers lately. 21 from the line. McCulloch, and delivered short to DeBella, who was preparing for the tackle well in advance. Dragons set right this time. Hunt and Sims. This is quite some pressure on Manly. McCulloch, and some nice hand to Moan, equally good. The defence there on Sewer. That was superb goal line defence, man. Laurie and Hunt, good flat line, kick threaded through. Finds Cherry Evans' leg. They did a pretty precise strike to take it dead from that far out too.
Yeah, really good set from the Dragons. Nice little shake down to this right-hand side. Terrific hands in the conditions from a Moan to Sewer. The tackle was an absolute beauty. Needed to be made before they come back and get a repeat set. Find the wrong player to start with through Laurie, who dishes it on to Benny Hunt and gets his second repeat set of the evening.
That is now a dozen tackles the Dragons have had inside the Manly's 20. Manly's 20 tonight. They're completing at 87% St George Illawarra. In these conditions, those sort of numbers you think have to lead to points. It's a strong ball, Laurie. Trebojevic as well. No. Ben Trebojevic wobbly, barely able to get to his feet there. And they all come to his aid. Both Dragons and Manly players, and Laurie, the man who ran the ball, did a quick check on him as well.
It's only been 17 minutes ago in this match. There's been plenty of stoppages, and we see the replay. Laurie, just left him with that left knee, was it?
Yeah, indeed. Oh, that was, yeah, that's incredible. That suffered some sort of fracture from that. That was real forceful contact. Tom puts his head down, Ben comes off the field.
Yeah, we'll have to go through the HIO protocols as Schuster makes his way down the sideline. Only limited minutes last week. We know what sort of skill he has. He's going to be asked to play long minutes here this evening.
Parker there on the bench in monk mode. So now we're a Trebojevic-less Manly side in action against the Dragons. Hunts and Mbai. So Ramsey gone for the night. Mbai playing fullback. St George Illawarra 20 metres away from the Manly line. More opportunity for them. Monday's hands again. Lomax. Does he go to the foot? He's beaten a couple. Harper.
Really good defence, wasn't it, from Harper? And again, tries to throw him off the back.
Over. And Amanda's got it on a string for Ben Hunt to score again. And no one celebrates a try with a kick better than Ben Hunt. He's put it out into Jubilee Avenue.
It's down at the Leagues Club. Benny Hunt just pushing up what a competitor he is. He is the heartbeat of this side. They come out of this right-hand side of mine, a nice little kick on the back of pressure. Benny Hunt just pushing through. Comes up with their second try for the Dragons in his own double. We probably won't see it on this clip here. He kicks it down the road to the Leagues Club.
He's certainly put plenty on it. He obviously doesn't paid for the balls because he put it out into the night, and it ain't coming back. Ben Hunt, well, he becomes the leading try scorer with 6 for the season for St George Illawarra. And a really nice moment for Talatau Mo because we've seen him step, but he's a player that's growing. He's going to get better. But that's a lovely try assist for the young Dragons 5'8". Normally, you think it's Hunt the creator. That's a Mo the creator.
At different stages, you would have thought that given the conditions, we would see the Dragons probably tighten up with their attack, but they've consistently gone edge to edge, shooter on the right edge before they go across to that left-hand side. And on the back of that, they're starting to get a little bit of joy. Got possession with the ball, as you mentioned, 74% of possession the last 10 minutes. A couple of repeat sets.
Lomax then for 12-0 to St George Illawarra against the team Manly in the top 8. There's a few others cheering for the Dragons tonight to knock over Manly. Ben Hunt, a try-double on a Friday night on Foxley.
Well, the first one that we saw only moments ago just slid under attack and come off his right foot before burrowing down under. This one here, nice little kick from Amone. And the competitor of Ben Hunt, the football player, the instinct to just push up.
12th career double for Ben Hunt, 11th try assist of the season for Amone. So building up their tally. By the way, just the other side of Jubilee Avenue is the primary school there. We got a nice find on Monday morning. Kids turn up, find a ball used in NRL if it's gone over the fence. So Dragons well and truly on top at 12-0. And that's despite some adversity. Lara will let us know about Ben Trebojevic as soon as she finds out news out of the Manly camp.
It's just been through a sheer share of possession, hasn't it? I mean, 14 completed sets to the Manly Seagulls 5. I mean, Manly been perfect, 5 for 5 before the game, but they've only had 5. 12 points behind the score. The nice little kick out of dummy half from Mbai, showing his versatility.
That's a great kick. That's an outstanding kick from the Dragons. And have a look at them pin Manly to the corner.
Wonderful kick from Mbai. Exactly where you want it. Plenty of fatigue starting to creep in through the Manly Seagulls. Still yet 4 players to get back on side.
This is, oh boy, oh now they've got the kick from their own goal line. What a roll.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Rocked in by Moga. That is one of the most daring plays I've seen this season. And Foran bounces away from Burge. Oh, Walker tipped it back inside Allier. As you know, he's got Olaco out too. He's got Cole around that right side. Pretty handy. The pack is on. It is 150th for Manly. 215th of his career. Quick play the ball. Last tackle, short side. Schuster with a little dink over the top. Ball bounces anywhere. And referee on to Manly knock off. Challenge coming.
Well, it's taken 21 minutes for the Manly Seagulls to get a play the ball inside the 20, but have a look at this play. Nothing doing, in all sorts of trouble down on that right-hand corner. Beautiful little kick. Oh, who does that? Couple of metres off their line, straight on the mark for Harper before he was pulled down. They had an opportunity, as you mentioned, out on that right-hand side. They failed to go to.
You may have heard a bump underneath that play. That was Des Hasler falling off his chair. From the goal line of the corner. Incredible stuff. There he is, he's back. And perfectly in place. And now Dragons, here we go, the battle of the 40-20s. Hunt's got it away. Hunt's got that to within a centimetre of the sideline. Saab went back there. It really was only the conditions that slowed that one up. It sort of got the skids rather than the bounce.
Yeah, outstanding line, wasn't it? You're spot on, just checked up quite nicely. Plenty of rain around. Play 3, we saw Andrew McCullough come up with a play 3 kick before. This time went hard for 40-20.
Well, between Jerry Evans and Hunt, they've kicked the third of the 40-20s in the NRL this year. So that's how good they are at it. And then Ben Hunt, you throw in an Origin 40-20 as well. He's had 5 this year. Allier better from the Seagulls, nice and direct. Allier following up onto Powell's run. Walker, Cherry Evans, a bomb from 45 metres out. Mbai again goes into that crouch position and brings Mogus straight into the play. Dragons meantime are getting Laurie off the field on the far side. It's going to be a long walk back to the bench. He's off.
There's nothing worse. Nothing worse as a player, particularly a front row, when you get taken off the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Surely you could just run across. Josh Maguire's replacement taking his first hit up.
It really made things quicker, but he had to go off that side. Poor old Blake. Anyway, he's got the walk. We'll see in about 10 minutes. Still a great position for the Dragons to be in, leading 12-0, 23 minutes gone. Game 1 of 2 on a Friday night on Fox League. And there's Hunt, seeing the strike of the footy here. Gary Conant does the roll. So, all's well that ends well there for the Manly fullback. You know Manly's got the points in them. That is one thing in this last 5 weeks. Yeah, they've scored, what, 26 points a game is the average.
Yeah, 35 points a game it is, Andrew. Last four weeks for the Manly Seagulls, best attacking team in the competition. Haven't played any slouches that come across the Melbourne Storm and also the Cowboys.
That's a G-up. The VB hard-earned index, he's getting points walking all that distance. He wasn't leading until he got taken from the field. And this effort he's putting in, going some 250 metres around the perimeter, it's put him up the top of the VB hard-earned index. So Manly with the ball, Foran and Cherry Evans to a ball on the wing, goes behind Kohler. And the Seagulls one of their better chances of the night. It's only tackle 2. They're 32 from the Dragons line. And this time with Allier over the top. The defence was waiting for it.
No.
Good exchange there. And Walker for Cherry Evans. Trying to do a Ben Hunt. Tim Star half-back to the head. Walker on the run. That's been trying a long time. Last tackle play, big buddy to Powell finds himself a dummy half. Back to Carnes, Cherry Evans.
Records in a fucking second. There's going to be fucking trouble.
What?
Will someone find my fucking drink?
Coming off his right foot, taking on the defensive line.
I don't know where it is.
And on the back of that,
Maybe check your room.
I can't hear anyone because I got my headphones in.
I said check your room. Check your bedroom.
his first one went into row 3.
Or check the shed.
Wait and see if you Dragon fans getting very excited. They have conceded a lead of 12 points this year. Let's see what their partners they are tonight. It's the Seagulls on the go out to a weapon. It's Pittman another. We'll be up close to 100 tackle busts for the Seagulls by the end of this match. Kebby flying over the top there. The Sims didn't catch much of the Manly front rower. Here's Foran. And then for Schuster, the master of the pass without looking.
You bitch.
Young Schuster.
The first error of the game for me in the season was just that back-to-back sets, starting to find a little bit of ascendancy with field position. And Schuster
Mum, if
just unable to get
Mum,
to play the
if the Seagulls don't score this half, if the Seagulls don't score this half, they normally score at least 4 tries in the second half. They always have.
Just hoping no one noticed. Interesting piece in the Daily Telegraph today, the Captain's Challenge stats. Cover your ears, Warriors fans, if you're not across it. The worst performed Captain's Challenge side in the history of the challenges. They've taken their average down this year. They've only 2 successes out of 12 challenges. They were 33% going into this year. They're now down to 28% Captain Challenge. They can come inside with their it's a miserable stat. In fact, there's only 4 teams that are positive when it comes to challenges. We learned from the Telegraph today. Mbai and Maguire. He's off to Warrington. Confirmed this week. Off to the Super League. Confirmed today Dufty off to the Super League as well. Off to Warrington as well. McGregor. Sims on the run there. Kevin McGovern confirmed going back to the Super League, leaving the Roosters, joining the Huddersfield Giants. He is Hayden kicking, and they've got it to the corner again. He doesn't want it to go out. He keeps Manly in play, chases all there. Gary does well to get at least 15 metres back. But some nice wet weather football from the Dragons, keeping in mind they're 12-0 in front.
Yeah, really good intercept from Ben Hunt. He's been terrific in the opening half. For his team, come up with a double, orchestrating things beautifully off the boot.
Offload games of the two sides has been put away in the conditions. Martin Tapau there is one of the better offloaders, but he was just going straight and hard there. Oh, yeah, he runs into a one that shortens him up. We play the ball though. Cherry Evans drives hard. And the Dragons back with the ball, but another set where Manly get no quality field position.
Well, it's just a kicking game of the Dragons at the moment. Obviously, the conditions aren't great. Both teams completed very high and doing a really good job in that regard. But Mbai put one in the deep corner, Benny Hunt's done the same, a couple of repeat sets. Just makes it really difficult for the men, the Seagulls, middle forwards, to get back behind the ball and then carry and get them out.
Ooh, he didn't play it, that's okay for McCullough. Kept the hands off the ball. One more try for the Dragons, that would make it quite a challenge for Manly. Moan for Maguire. Very experienced forwards on the bench tonight for the Dragons. Sims, Molo, Maguire. And young Sullivan is the fourth interchange player. Bob will start out to play it. It's close to the line. Lomax. Nice sleight of hand. Sewell with the ball. Does so well getting it back in field. Cherry Evans back there. But Manly looking in straight there. Cherry Evans thrown back to the goals off the ball. The Dragons are claiming a try.
Yeah,
Did he get to ground?
Well, Jack Bird's claiming a try.
Lee Davey loses the ball, but it's also grounded by him before Jack Bird does.
Okay. So he may have grounded before he loses it.
It was a wonderful lead-up play. The kick didn't go exactly where Benny Hunt wanted it to. The Dragons did a terrific job getting the ball back in.
Mom, what time are you going to stand tomorrow?
Ooh, it's slapped down. I think it's a knock on Dragons, to be honest.
What
Not
time are
the
you going to
first
stand
one.
tomorrow?
They've slapped it out there. Any strip from the Dragons.
What time are you going to stand tomorrow?
I don't know.
We'll wait. Well,
Well, I think
Make
they do
sure I
knock it out.
Mum, why are you going to stand tomorrow? Mum.
Chase is present.
I'm coming.
Call what you see.
Oh, knock on. Dragons.
I'll tell you this much. You can't force the ball.
There's no
to
intent
run
to
here.
strip, just to see if there's a grounding from Daly Cherry Evans or Jack Bird.
He's trying to keep his hands away from it, and then claims they're trying to finish. Remember, simultaneous put down would go the Dragons' way. Jeez, it's a tough one to work out.
Well, you were very positive early.
You're on the beep, beep, beep. You're backing up.
Just looking at all available angles, trying to work out whose hand gets the ball here.
I reckon we could be here in another hour.
It's been a long time.
We're still at
The
11
right
minutes.
hand of Daly Cherry Evans remains on the ball. We have a gun on the ground.
Okay, the Cherry Evans' right hand remained on the ball. While we've got this line dropout about to happen, an update on Ben Trebojevic from Lara Pitt. Lara?
Yeah, Ross, unfortunately, we won't see Ben Trebojevic for the remainder of this match. He failed his HA after copying that knee to the head whilst attempting the tackle on Blake Laurie. It means both sides now are down a player for the remainder of the match.
All right, disappointing news for Manly that time. Yet another line dropout. Third of the night for Manly. Cherry Evans goes low and harder to get it. Lomax through the legs. He's recovered. He's got long legs. He made quite a tunnel for the ball there. He was the target of the previous one as well. So Sims is taken back by the Manly defence. Lucky the ball didn't end up over the sideline. Didn't be the last hard and low dropout
Mum.
on a wet night. Thankfully the rain has eased. McCulloch and Hunt.
What time I got Sims tomorrow? What time I got Sims tomorrow? Make sure it's in the morning because I'm coming.
And that is play number 4 done.
I need to see Sam's new house.
In this end, it's been all this end. The southern end of next Strata Jubilee. Hunt and in by, the flick around the back was forward some distance from Bird.
Yeah, really disappointing set there from the Dragons. I mean, they didn't go anywhere before they had to play out the left-hand side. The play wasn't on. Birdie's been quite good in his first half. Comes up with a real pressure pass. It wasn't on. Handled really well on that right-hand edge.
Turned it around, didn't expect it. It was projected forward a good 3 or 4 metres. Jack Bird. Manly hang on, but trailing 12 points to nil. Those field position stats are becoming incredibly stark. Just getting inside the Dragons' half has proven a struggle for Manly. Only 13 tackles inside the Dragons' half through the opening 31 minutes.
If they're able to get up the other end and mount a little bit of pressure and even so come up with some points, they'll go into the half-time break extremely happy. I mean, they've had half the amount of football in this first half. The Manly Seagulls, they've lost a player in Trebojevic. They lost 3 players coming into the game.
So Siri trying to get this set. The second set it up for Allier on that run. Now another bomb. It's 4 in this time. Plenty of height on this one. Oh, it's allowed to bounce close to the line with a risk. Manly still with it. Schuster on the last tackle. Couldn't get it away, but Moga went into a defensive role, protection role, and Enby decided, well, I'm not even going to try and catch him. Anything could have happened there.
Well, they get away with it, don't they? If you're only tuning in just now, Cody Ramsey left the field with a knee concern, which has pushed Enby back into that fullback role. And you're spot on, I mean, leaving the ball bounce in that field position is extremely risky. They get away with it before Molo was put in an awkward position.
Half-time show, Hannah Hollis with Greg Alexander and Gordon Tallis. Brady would have got in the retro round gear tonight. I thought he might have worn an old brown and white Penrith jersey in on set. With a party pooper.
It might surprise you. There's another game to follow.
Okay, all right, just later in the night, just change outfits. With the old Dada uniforms across the front. Jack Bird with the ball. Coming across from the left side, so another forward pass. That's 2 in a row. I didn't even see the place though, 3 in a row. So he's stand by, it's the clock on.
Just a little impatient. Jack Bird, he's trying extremely hard. He's looked dangerous every time he's got the ball. A couple of tackle breaks, and right there, just needs to go to ground. Olakawatu would chase him right the way across, so they'll short a number out on that left-hand side, which is where they've been setting up all first half. And back-to-back errors.
But the fact that it's back-to-back forward passes by the same player, that's a rare event. One of those sort of train spotting moments. So, take stock of it. 6.5 minutes remaining first half. On this Friday night, Dragons leading Manly, 12 points to nil. It's must-win stuff for the Dragons when you look at the table and what they've got coming up the next few weeks when they play the Cowboys and the Sharks back-to-back weeks. Just got to bag 2 points here any which way. Played by Kohler. Now if it's a foul, if this is out remained, you would see Manly and the Dragons side by side. Points differential a problem for the Dragons, so that's why the 2 points so important.
Great shot from Lomax.
Having some of the Manly players there, still arms up. Schuster, Walker. Centre field for Allier. He's worked hard tonight. Some really solid carries, 9 runs for over 80 metres. Josh Allier. And Cherry Evans and Wobbler. Fielded by Moses Enby. Still can't get a tackle down inside the 20 there. In by the play. No doubt bringing it back. You see him getting some injury-free football, Tautau Moga. There's enough of him. He's shown a bit of play duty on the wing. Just outside the 35 minutes remaining first half. The Dragons with Hunt, this time probing away in the middle. Sims, caught by Allier, who made a pop up there in the tackle. For Maguire, hit and spin. Over halfway, last play Dragons. Right side kick will come from Hunt. Bird is chasing hard. Garrick is underneath it. And looks up. Sees Bird, sees others. He got away from Burns. Good work, Ruben Garrick. A couple of really pressure carries from him tonight.
Yeah, I like the set that the Dragons just come up with there, nothing too fancy, just some playing back on the inside, just asking those big players to ground for Secker and the likes, just to double defend and really try and instill some fatigue into the defensive line. It's going to be one of those nights, conditions aren't favouring either side.
Forward, showing us a little link there as well. This has gone totally against the trend of what Manly have produced lately in first half efforts. Double figure tallies in 4 of their last 5 matches by half time, the Sea Eagles.
There was always a concern for me, the Seagulls coming into this one, particularly without Jake Trbojevic. I mean, he just gives time and space for Daly Cherry Evans and also Foran and Garrick for that matter to play out the back, just by his ability to ball play through the middle. No Jake Trbojevic defensively is also an issue. Take Lachlan Croker out of that also. Makes it extremely difficult. There's Marty Kakao again, just starting to get a little impatient, a little bit frustrated. Coming up with a low percentage play off the ground. The tackle had been complete. There's 3 minutes remaining on the clock now. The Dragons already into the Manly Seagulls half. Well, happy referee called penalty there rather than let's block back, let's just go again. I think that was pretty blatant. Manly fans may think differently, Hunt with it. Shout out to Jake Trbojevic watching the Fox League coverage tonight. Here's Hunt, turning inside there for Maguire. There's a little bit of slow motion stuff there. Very pedestrian one, wasn't it?
15 metres away from the line. McCulloch for Hunt, this time for Bird. Switch of play, brings Burns back in field. Cut off load, although he's almost going to get yelled at. He's lost the ball, was stripped at the last moment. Burns has got a good 5 or 6 metres more than he should have there, surely.
Minutes after contact there for Burns, and again, it's the Dragons just dropping players back underneath. Jack Bird, Burns and the like, some footwork, Sewer. Slippery conditions. Jack Bird drops Burns under. Watu slipped over there, and he carried these 2 big human beings another 6 or 7 metres. It's stuck it off. They give 2 points right on the stroke of half time for the Dragons.
Yeah, we'll take the 14.
Why do you think so?
We'll lead. As Tim Boggs played the season referee, and he's been horribly wrong. Keeping your opponent's scores out. 14 was their half-time tally last week against the Roosters. I should mention too. We didn't concede 42 after the break, but different conditions, different day. Different team. I need to go back through the stats to find the number of times they have kept opponents scoreless in the first half. They did it against South Sydney, which was their best recent win in round 15. Also did it against the Roosters earlier this year. Lomax for 14-0. They've already locked it in. His Dragons teammates, they're going back towards halfway. That's a big thing, isn't it? They've got a shot when it hits the post and comes back out, I tell you. There it is, no such luck. And Lomax 3 from 3. Dragons 2 tries in the first half. Hardy fans on the hill, and they're proving it where real becomes unreal. They've come out tonight to support their team, and you can do the same. Secure your seats at nrl.com/tickets. So many big matches coming up. And if you want to see it live, best to buy the ticket to nrl.com/tickets. What's in tomorrow night? Penrith Cronulla, worthy of a full house, I would have thought. Out there at the home of the Panthers. A couple of big guns coming out tomorrow night. Don't worry about getting underway, Corey. That'll do us for the half. So, 2 tries to the Dragons, 3 goals. It looks good on the board. Half time. St George will on 14, Manly 0. Down on ground, we're in position to go straight to Larapin.
Ben Hunt, the team seems to have come with the right energy and intent in this game. How did you see the first half?
Yeah, we definitely came with the right attitude, and we just really want to play clean in the wet weather and kick it down their end, and it's working so far.
Double for you. You try scoring form too.
Yeah, I'll take it when I can. They give too many doubles, so I enjoy it.
Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
The Dragons with a sense of occasion as their season goes on the line tonight, and it's all thanks to that man on screen, their captain. Our next stop tonight takes us to McDonald Jones Stadium. The Roosters have arrived to play the Knights. Here's James Hooper.
Darcy, let's go to Sydney Roosters, currently sitting in 9th position. How important to start the roll going towards the finals tonight?
Yeah, it's a big end to the year for us. Obviously, had a good win last week, and looking to build that again this week. We sort of on 80-minute performance, so I feel like last week we were good in patches, but looking to get a good 80-minute performance, a good win tonight for our back end of the year.
A couple of the big guns returning, Jared Waerea-Hargraves and Luke Keary. Luke's been missing for a month due to that concussion. How's he been at training, and what do you want to see from him tonight?
Yeah, he's been good. He's probably been training this for a couple of weeks now. Obviously, Roy's just taking his time and bringing him back, but yeah, he looks ready to go. He looks fit and firing, and it's good to have him back. Just he's an experienced guy who leads our team around well, and him and Sammy will work well together tonight, hopefully.
Newcastle caused an ambush when you played them in round 1. What have you made of how they've fared over the course of the last month?
Yeah, I feel like they're similar where if when they're on, and we know, at home Newcastle Friday night they're going to look to have a strong start, so it's on us to sort of weather that a bit and just complete our sets and defend well, and hopefully that'll get us all in the end.
Tony, thanks for joining us and best of luck.
Thanks, Super. Cheers.
Well, the Roosters will be cheering the Dragons to go on with it tonight because a win for them can jump Manly and they can get into the top 8 if they beat the Knights. We've got the first half review up from Cochrane X, and don't forget on Monday night we have a brand new show for you. It's right after NRL 360. Jake Duke sits down with the biggest names in the game, and it all begins with Benji, the full story.
There's a saying that commentating allows you to coach all 16 teams without the pressure. Yeah. You have chosen the opposite tack of that. Why did you take on this challenge?
Well, I think the first thing is I'm assistant coach for 2 years. I think people have got this notion that I'm in there straight away as the head coach. I'm not. I'm pretty much shadowing Tim Sheens for 2 years to understand, look, I know I haven't coached a game, but I'm okay with that. I've learned a lot of lessons as a player. And I know there's a lot of chat about not being experienced and all that sort of stuff, but I'm going to learn off one of the best.
This isn't going nowhere, is it, Joseph?
Good for you, no one cares.
Give you nothing good for you in a fucking minute.
Hard work, eh, Wilfred?
Gonna be a long day.
Coming up. Nice one.
With an average return of 9.25% per annum for the past 37 years, it's good to know your money is working as hard as you.
Not long now.
Cbus Super, making hard work pay off.
harder tomorrow, you need sports nutrition you can trust today. INC Sports Nutrition is banned substance tested and Informed Sports certified. INC Sports Nutrition, powering tomorrow today.
Hungry Jack's now has Jack's Cafe Barista Coffee. Freshly ground, rich, velvety smooth, handcrafted. Jack's Cafe's great tasting barista coffee. Pick up in drive-thru at Hungry Jack's.
Pre-order the new Google Pixel 6a at Harvey Norman and receive the bonus $150 gift card. Hurry, pre-order ends July 27. Harvey Norman, your destination for the new Google Pixel.
Welcome back to Friday Night Footy on Fox. The Dragons are back at home and they are in full control of this game. Despite a backline reshuffle early in the first half, they lead the Manly Eagles 14-0 at halftime. Gordon Tallis, Greg Alexander. If you take a look at the Port Ranger first half highlights, Gordy is all the red beat at the moment. And the captain, with some fancy footwork, opened the scoring.
Yeah, well, we spoke about the battle of the two number 7, but Benny Hunt wanted that a little bit more than the Manly defenders. He slips over there, gives them an opportunity, but gets up and burrows his way over to slam the ball down. It's a super competitive first half, and Benny Hunt once again puts a kick all he gets a kick put through for him, and he's there on the spot and kicks it in the ground. He's had a great first half, Benny Hunt.
Yeah, very good, hasn't he? And look, we heard Moses Mbai before the game say that they want to try and wear out the big Manly forwards, and they've kept the ball in play, and they've dominated possession and field position, and Hunt's been super. Adaptable, hit the ground, up on his feet, scored the first try, and then Amon put in a very clever kick for that second try.
As we take a look at the Seabus Super stats at halftime, check out that completion rate. The Dragons have just had all the ball, and Manly, when they've had a chance, Granny, they just haven't been able to capitalise.
Yeah, they have been battling out of their own end for most of the first half. They've only had a couple of... There was only 7 playable for Manly inside Dragons territory. Schuster came up with an error. When you get down there, you've got to make something of it. Cherryham's got a repeat set, but they made a mistake off the back of it. They'll need to be better and take their chances in the second half. But the Dragons... Yeah, sailing along pretty good at the moment.
And their season is still alive, Brandy. As you declared, a win tonight is a must if they want to continue and push for the finals in season 2022. Second half is up next from their strategy release stage.
What the
Yeah, man, you two are hard work. Hello, kids. Hey, your hat. Water bottle.
Friends. Love you.
With an average return of 9.25% per annum for the past 37 years, it's good to know your money is working as hard as you. Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. There's only ever two you meet. One who keeps things nice and neat. Silence is their quiet dream. Then there is a different beast, marching to a savage beat. Followers left in dusty heaps. These ones lead the rules in pieces. The next generation Ford Ranger Raptor.
Try Hungry Jack's new Roadhouse Whopper with double bacon and special sauce. Or fall in love with Roadhouse Jack's fried chicken. Hungry Jack's new Roadhouse. The burgers are better.
If you want to hit harder tomorrow, you need sports nutrition you can trust today. INC Sports Nutrition is banned substance tested and informed sports certified. INC Sports Nutrition, powering tomorrow, today.
There's only ever two you meet. One who keeps things nice and neat. Silence is their quiet dream. Then there is a different beast, marching to a savage beat. Followers left in dusty heaps. These ones lead the rules in pieces. The next generation Ford Ranger Raptor.
Why do we always say we're doing nothing special just because it's not a special occasion? Dinner with my best mates? Nothing special. Oh, watching a movie with my soulmate? Nothing special. Having dinner with the family who I'd literally die for? You know, nothing special. I mean, come on people, what could be more special than this?
I'm still one special girl.
Today's actress who's playing my nan, McCain. There's something special about nothing special.
At Harvey Norman, Intel Evo laptops are designed to do it all. Like this Asus Swift 3 laptop, now $894, save $500. Or this Asus Swift 3 featuring Intel Evo powered by 11th Gen Intel Core i7 processor, now $995. Designed on the Intel Evo platform for ultimate mobile performance, this versatile Asus Swift 5 laptop, now $1,298. Now at Harvey Norman.
Fox League, retro round, retro music. Dragons, though, looking to play for the future. They want to make the finals. They certainly want to not be out of contention with a month to go. And if they were to lose tonight on the back of two losses the last 2 weeks and looking at their draw, their season could go south. So tonight is so important. They've got themselves to 14-0. Corey Parker, do they go on from here?
Yeah, it's a critical game, isn't it, for the Dragons? And they're leading at 14-0 now. That the biggest challenge for the Dragons is the next 20 minutes. The worst team in the competition, they're conceding points in the next 20 minutes following half-time. 14-0 up against the Manly Seagulls, albeit a few players out. They're in the box seat. Whenever there's Daly Cherry Evans at the helm for the Manly Seagulls, anything is possible.
Seagulls have won only 2 of the past 8 against the Dragons. Bit of a bogey side for whatever reason. So they've got their job to do. Suddenly, if they lose here, they are back in the dogfight for that bottom of the 8th position. And others edge a little further in front of them. Both teams losing a play to victory in the first half. Cody Ramsey out for the Dragons. Ben Trebojevic gone from the Manly side for the night. So they're down to play on the bench.
We saw Daly Cherry in that first half, a couple of repeat sets. Looked dangerous with the ball when they got into good attacking rate. But he's got every skill set there is to a football player. Daly Cherry Evans been in superb form over recent weeks. Has that man there. Benny Hunt, first half double for him. A couple of tackle busts, 2 forced line dropouts. In career best form. Without doubt, the heartbeat of this team.
Yeah, you'd have to think if you were stopping the game now, 3 Dally M points. I mean, he was the Dally M points leader when things went behind closed doors. He's certainly going to be in there with a big hope of taking out the number 1 gong for the players. So 14-0. What's the winning score? Do they need? Do they need one more? We'll do it. Even 14 points be enough tonight.
And I'm sure that Coach Anthony Griffin would have been really firm with his players, particularly at the start of the second half, and how important it is.
Second half underway. Manly first possession. Powell is hammered by Molo on the first tackle of the second half. That is some statement. Go for their biggest first play. Don't often see to Powell crunch like that. How good is this tackle? Bushnell, the feet kept going. The upper body was gone.
And they've come up with an error once again through Schuster down that left-hand side in the opening set to start this game under enormous amounts of pressure.
The start for the Dragons to the second half. Big tackle, enforced mistake. What if they can get any points? Sees the play, 29 metres away from the line, this time with Maguire. He takes it inside the 20. They've just dominated field position in this game, the Dragons. Hunts, and the end of the step, Ramon. And Harper has him, Schuster, Foran, all there, but it's goal line defence early for Manly. Felt like they were doing it all first half. Now Hunt, switch of play. And last tackle, they will rather meekly hand over the ball. And then Hunt come off the left foot, not getting the play back on the inside. Not a bad place to hand the ball over, but probably could have come up with a better option than that in their first set to start the second half after a gifted error. They forced 4 line dropouts tonight. I think the kick to win goal has worked for them. Didn't even attempt at that time. Manly under pressure, even with ball in hand here. Gary. UK masters of the long range try last year when Tommy Turbo was in 5-4. They thrilled us with some beauties from downtown. Notably against the Cowboys was something special. They might need a few tonight. And nice step. Has left Lomax behind there. Stepping in his shoes there. Harper on Lomax. Let's play Manly. Sherry Evans. Kicked down to him by, I must say, 2 fullbacks. I hope it's not commentators' curse, but they've been very good under the high ball tonight.
Well, Manly obviously fancy their chance, particularly on that left-hand side. They come up with an error only the last set. This time they come up with a nice clean line break through Harper. There's a forced offload again from Bird.
Francis is out of play. So out of play, so he's in front of the play the ball and has ended up with it. The referee G all over it. And the Dragons have put pressure on themselves. Manly get to start a set inside the Dragons 20 for the first time tonight. Only their second penalty for the Maroon and Whites.
Don't stop like this time, brother.
So 12 metres away from the line, played by Paseka and Walker and Cherry Evans forward to Powell. Trying to score in a milestone game, and he almost gets to the goal post. Padding there. He's up on the Gold Coast. And then...
Yeah! Fine! Yes!
He's got a and the Dragons pay the price for what would be
I can give it to you.
a technical penalty.
I can give it to you.
Wow. Points on the ball.
Yeah, we see here.
What the hell? What for?
From Mbai. Stage Milo in the 16 was in front of the play of the ball, which is why it's deemed to be a penalty. Off the back of that, Allier just crashing over some feeble defence on their goal line. In their first opportunity in this second half, I mentioned the Dragons, the worst in the competition at conceding points in the 20 minutes after half time. He goes on and push pass, offload from Jack Bird, a penalty, and now a try. Drop down to 180. No, when he goes
retro round, that's some of your hands moves, Bossy. Josh Elliott gets the try. So, again, just to explain the penalty, if you're in front of the play, the ball, nothing runs you back onside. You are out of the play. And they were in sort of nonchalant fashion, weren't they? Just walking back onside. not even really thinking about the fact they're not in play. If only Moga had just hung onto the ball for us. Life would have gone on at 14. Instead, it's now 14-6. Manly back in the contest. Let's go down to the sideline, Lara Pitt.
Yeah, and Desi will be happy with that start to the second half. He said he felt they started this contest very slowly and paid the price. They just need to work hard through the middle in the second half to earn the right to score some points. He backs them to do that. The issue for Manly is, however, they are down to 2 men on the interchange bench. Sean Kepi has succumbed to that bad stinger on that right shoulder and has pinched a nerve, and it means that on the bench at the moment, just 2, including debutant 20-year-old Kyle.
So Kyle Weeks, he'd be a little nervous at the moment with his joint. Probably back to your first game.
Be careful of my chair, please.
Don't you tell me what to do.
No, you kids have already wrecked Dad's.
Does that mean you need a chair?
No!
Rattled the cage and said okay. Yeah. He's come to the contest. That person.
Now Foran pushing along, Schuster could be a factor. Oh, he's put a bone onto his backside and a reverse roll as well.
Hey, Mum. Hey, Mum.
Plays that he has.
Hello. Hey, Mum.
Inside the 40.
The Seagulls are back in there now. The Seagulls have a big chance now.
Suddenly they're getting a bit of field position as well. Real shift. Ball there, high for Cherry Evans. Good recovery. In by
Oh, yeah. Knock on. Wait, what?
That is quite amazing in the conditions how we run that in.
Well, Cherry Evans got a really good piece of it and in by. What a superb catch. Lost it right at the last minute. And gathered back in.
Yeah, his heart rate go a lot faster than...
We're seeing the replay. Oh, look at that for a bit of skill.
Do it again.
But the momentum has shifted in this game. The Manly Seagulls have really come after the Dragons this last 5 minutes.
Sims on the run there. 6.5 minutes into the second half, and it's livened up for the Seagulls. Playing inside their 40, so suddenly they're kicking from inside their own half. Hunt Harden down the middle. Garrick onto it. Wants to rush it back. Grab as many minutes as he can. And play runners on the 30. Which often wasn't the case in the first half where they could get sets. Time for the outside backs to get busy. Saab a rare run, but you'd like to see a little bit of Kohler as well.
Just his 4th run for the evening. Saab is such a big man. He would like to think he'd get his hands on the ball a lot more and help his middle forwards out as they go this left-hand side once again.
Now for Harper. He's going to try to move on Lomax again. Lomax got him on the outside that time. 15 metres inside the Dragons half, but the Seagulls starting to put it together. And then that pass from Cherry Evans. Oh, and intercepted. Well, that was very sloppy from Manly. And they lose all advantage there.
Harper just clutching his right wrist, I think, by the looks of it, just getting back into play now. They're doubling down that left-hand side. This time just got it wrong after just getting back the field position and ascendancy.
Dragons will punt. And then Bird because he pass it back. He finds Burns. Cherry Evans and Tapau, the defenders. A second tackle, no. Well, I thought for a moment set restart Dragons, and then referee rules the way of Manly. Billy Burns is not happy.
It was terrific last week, Burns, up over 100 run meters in that game. Cherry Evans does get a little bit of contact.
So you can put an argument there for the Dragons back row. The tackle had been completed. They were entitled to probably release. It was a close one. It's gone against St George Illawarra. So Manly have the ball. And Saab is back in the play again. Now, Jason Saab too has been in try-scoring form lately. Doubles back-to-back weeks. He's up against his former club. We're trying to script for him. Paseka, risky offload, pulled in by Foran. He only had 2 offloads in the first half. Suddenly both sides showing a little bit of daring. necessarily precise. It's the short side, easy defence, Dragon.
Really good run from Garrick, just spotting some retreating defenders and taking him on, get a quick play to ball.
This is Manly suddenly with a bit of zest. Powell's on the run at any angle. Ripping and tearing into the Dragons' defence there. Schuster takes them left. Harper with it again. They really have the Dragons on their heels here. 5 minutes from the line, last play. And it comes across for Cherry Evans. The kick is fielded by Mbai. It was an unusual kick, the flight of the ball.
He needed to find the grass there, Cherry Evans. This right-hand edge had all pushed up a play early, expecting the kick on play 4, which only gave Cherry Evans one option, and that was to kick over the top. Would have liked to have his time again.
Roosters Knights next up here on Fox League on this Friday night. We're expecting Kieran to be called into the side behind the start at 13 of Hutchison, so there's going to be a bit of a...
I said you have money on you.
For the Roosters. Another important game by a team keen to make the finals. Hunt kicks. Fair strike on that. Garrick with it. A fine job he's done at fullback. Here's Tom Trbojevic. And Garrick is stepping up. Still scoring points. Seems to have been coming in for that run. 11 minutes into the second half.
Strong contact from Jaden Sewell and also Sims.
Just got back on there. Simply having some success down Lomax's side here. The Dragons' right side, Manly. You don't see a ball out on the Kohler or Tuapolotu's side. Cherry Evans certainly back inside again for simply Bellum the tackler. Last play, Manly loves something here. Cherry Evans bomb to the wing of Moga. He's with it. And manages to get to ground a couple of metres in advance of the goal line.
Really good set here is that Dylan Walker flies up off the defensive line for the Dragons just to get out of their own end. It's a bit of an armdash. It's a strong run from Moga.
That's three tackles down. Hunt is on the wrist involved, but Bird's got it. Then links up with Fianay. Fianay can't get around Kohler. Attacked by the Dragons under enormous pressure for the first 3 tackles of the set. Now Hunt, kick and chase. The ball may go over the sideline, but we would have loved for it to stay in the field of play.
Yeah, and that stand. The crowd was up and erupting. They were riding that kick from Benny Hunt. They wanted to stay in field, as did he. But once again, a little shift down this left-hand side. Found some space, and if this kick here is able to find space, you see on that right-hand side of Moan, pushing up through the middle third. Garrick was back there, but he would have been under enormous amounts of pressure as the momentum has swung back in the favour of the Dragons. McGuire over the top.
Yeah, this has really picked up in intensity, this one. You now start to realise how high the stakes are in the run to the finals. Matches like this, I reckon it's gone up a couple of notches. And now they're going to keep it up for the next 27 minutes.
You expect a shift to this left-hand side. They've done it every set so far.
Now again, Allier, Powell, turning pass, Schuster, and then Harper. Lomax just hangs on. It's quite a battle now, Lomax and Harper. Coming into the Dragons half again, Cherry Evans. And to Powell. Player losing his footing. Can't be played the ball with speed. Kick and chase this time from Cherry Evans. They go blow for blow. Ball is not shut down there. The Dragons come back with it. Bird keeping it alive. Hunt now.
It was excellent play the ball. Kieran Foran off the back of that. Just put it to the toe. You just get the sense that some individual brilliance might be the difference in this game as both teams just trade blow for blow, set for set.
Zero on that run. Yes, it was Foran trying to kick and chase. It's nice and lively at the moment to Bellum. almost a case where you're thinking maybe next scorer wins. If Dragons score, they keep clear. Manly score, they make the Dragons extra nervous. So it's vital minutes of the match right now. Hunt on the last tackle. Can't find the grass. Gallagher's with it and just does the voluntary tackle. Oh, and then Bert's going to make the sideline. You'd almost say that Gallagher's throwing himself over the sideline.
He's had an up and down night, hasn't he, Jack Bird? Let's have a look at this replay. With a wonderful kick once again from Ben Hunt. Just controlling the game beautifully.
Cole running back. Oh, he's lost the ball. Jack Bird will be happy.
And the attacker's challenge here for sure. Darby Terry Evans right in the vicinity.
Stop Rocco. I think he lost the Cole. The first Glezo challenge.
There you go. First grade to look like Jack Bird had actually hit the ball.
Right there. Yeah,
I thought Terry Evans was right there.
That would have tough. Penalty conceded over the sideline. Penalty conceded knocked out.
Anything could have happened after that, Bossy. He's got a very, very short fuse, Jack Bird.
This is trying to know the penalty.
Driving to Brandy's book of Jackson's challenges. Maybe the Telegraph story's got
Dragons are
this.
doing
Challenge.
real chat.
Wingers don't challenge. Front rowers don't challenge. Wingers don't challenge.
Real chat.
They're the rules.
Go.
A moment to play here. 29 metres out from the Manly line. Cully for DeBellin and McGuire. 14 plays 6. 23 and a half minutes to go. Advantage Dragons in their set. Hunt's already got 2. Held there by Schuster. 10 from the line. McCulloch in front of the post. McGuire. They're setting it up.
That's going to be
Dragons running back against the grain there.
There you go.
Well, he's betting the balls all night. He's
It's
been
cool.
a carry lately. He's leaping
Yep.
again. The
Dragons
Bills with
try.
it. There's Hunt. Ricochet.
Oh, no.
Manly get the ball.
Thank God.
And Harper comes back with it and keeps them in the game.
Yeah, great defensive play from Harper. It was a ricochet of Ben Hunt, but he was there to clean it up. The Schuster now down and back play, slow to get to his feet.
You've got to feel that Oliver Gardner is not 100% right. He's backed up by the numbers tonight. He had a couple of good runs early. He's had only half a dozen runs of the footy. He's been, I've used the word weapon a few times, but that's what he is to this Manly team. All the tackle busts. But he's not a factor here tonight. And they're working out left side since Schuster came on. Harper's got another run at Lomax. Linking up with Saab this time. It is left and go left again. Last tackle Manly. Cherry Evans from 45 metres out. Spiral bomb. Enmy's lost it back. Played it pretty cool, I thought there. Then passes not so coolly to Fionnay. And Fionnay in front of his own goal line is tackled.
But they're doing a great job of just being able to create some space out on that left-hand edge in their receivers. Just by the long pass. When you condense defenders of the Dragons.
Tackle 2, wait. He's down again. Between Sipley and Olakoatu, the two back rowers have had all sorts of troubles tonight for Manly.
What, Bowen?
I thought Enby played that right. He knew that he was always going to be in trouble, but his turn going with the flow of the ball, going with the direction of the ball, so that if he mishandles, he takes it back. If you attack the ball,
Smart play, yeah. Plenty of time to do exactly what he said. You see here, through the young fullbacks out there.
and then that pass there said the Fionnay do your best. 14-6. Yes, the lead is 8 points, but not looking around. A lot of Dragons fans in the North Province stand looking a little edgy. They know the importance of this one. 30 metres away from their own line.
And 21 minutes remain in this first half. It'll be interesting to see which coach blinks first. Jayden Sullivan is warming up as we speak. We know what sort of electric ball runner he can be. Will he be the difference?
Taken again by Garrick and Manly. Got young Kyle Wicks. He's up on his feet, been told to warm up. So you better play your first minutes in the NRL. Game on the line, an important one. Seagulls outside their 30. There he is. Kyle Wicks scored 3 tries in the Jersey fleet just a fortnight ago against the Dragons.
What a moment it'll be for the young man as they go again down this left-hand side. Some numbers. There's Schuster's.
Oh! He's gone. What? Not no one.
Shuts him down early rather than get close to that sideline on a slippery night. Manly, though, creating far more opportunities their second half. Simply 30 away from the line, 4th tackle down, Manly. Dylan Walker, Cherry Evans, outside with Tapau. Trying to fend, got the offload, Olakuatu. Not any early ball, though, for Amoli there. Last play, Manly, Cherry Evans, step up to the plate. No, Walker runs it. And Walker again gets the kick to the end goal, and from a long way from the dead ball line. Moses Mbai with a back that could have almost created for Manly.
Yeah, terrific play. You see Olakuatu just gets up and Hundog squared straight out of that. Dylan Walker, devastating ball runner. Olakuatu still in all sorts out on this right-hand side. And they're able to come up with a result.
Watching you can see the bottom of your screen there, Olakuatu is battling. Simply is battling. I mean, they are less than 75% fit, I think, those two. And all the attackers going left. Here is simply bringing it back. He'll soldier on in his 50th NRL game. Walker, Cherry Evans, the second back onto the field for Tapau. Walker has done a pretty good job at a dummy half. Cherry Evans finding Foran. A big tackle need to be made. No one found him. The young bloke on the veteran. Cherry Evans again, inside of the 20. Garrick couldn't offload. Bird was the defender. 4th tackle. Manly, Cherry Evans goes a little wider this time. Walker keeping it alive. Allier doing a bit of stepping and then let's step. They're going to say it really was only just. I'm prepared to say they got it right, but it was close.
Yeah, certainly was. Alloy 8. Once again, been very busy in the middle. Comes out this right-hand side, and the ball just dislodged there before it lands in Cole's hands.
There you go. Close one. Get back inside that converted try margin. Are there any more points in the Dragons?
Well, you did mention right out of half time it's 14 enough. At this stage, 14-6, 8 ahead, 18 minutes to go. It is enough.
The Raiders kept away too quickly, which has helped, I think. Turned awful. Oh, the ball's lost there. Ball is lost by Moga. Ken Withers challenge. Penalty late call. It came from the sideline official. Manly want a challenge. Here we go. They're all innocent. Put in your bets, in your bets. That's your bets here. Responsibly, of course. Of course. But here we go. We've got captain's challenge. It was all a bit frantic. Moga was lodging the protest. And then it was the reverse protest.
You can see hands there. The second hand comes round. Ball's already out.
Oh,
just to see if there's any stripping action from Manly.
It's not blatant stripping action on those first replays.
Just having a look at all available angles. We have inconclusive evidence. We're supporting the on-field decision. The challenge from Manly will be retained.
I could have made a determination. What's your answer? Well, I'm saying that there wasn't a stripping action from Sibley. I think he was making the tackle. So they retained the challenge, but Dragons get the penalty. think that's a pretty unsatisfactory outcome for Manly. That they still concede the penalty and the Dragons go up the other end of the field. Lomax and Laurie centre field, rocked sideways by Paseka. 17 and a half to go. Roosters and Newcastle next up on Fox League on this Friday night. But this showing is going right down to the wire, this one. A couple of nervous youngsters, Sullivan's up at his feet, he wants to get out there, hasn't had any football tonight. Weeks has sat back down, so he's not getting out there yet for his first minutes. Burns playing it here. A skinny 10.
That's a better run. They need some nice hard direct running. Just get up over the advantage line and really put a dent in the defensive line.
Hunts, right side of Mo, nice hands. Lomax. Forward and sideline. What was the intention there? From Zach Lomax, and it was an off-like last week. I don't want to curse the young fella, but the pass last week, what was it, 20
Well, it's just a part of Zach Lomax's game that he just needs to get the right balance. We know the sort of ball runner he is. We know he's got all the skill, and at that point right there, 16 minutes, 8 points clear. He just needs to put his nose on the ground, get to the end of the set, mount some pressure, keep Manly down this end. That's all they need to do.
So Manly getting the ball back, and rumbling forward is Paseka. 15 metres short of halfway. Garrick will just keep going left forward. I mean, it's just relentless what they're doing down that left side, the Sea Eagles. Blokes on the right are getting cold here. This time, offload simply. Cherry Evans, now it comes right. Olakuatu with it. They're not able to stretch out again. Last play Manly. Garrick, Cherry Evans to put up a bomb for Saab to chase. Here comes Saab. Moga went up and did well.
That's an excellent take from Tautau Moga. Positioned his body beautifully. Plenty of chasers, Harper and Saab coming through.
So can they keep the run up against Manly the Dragons? They won 21 of 32, and their home efforts have been sensational by the numbers when they played the Sea Eagles. Barely able to buy a win. Dragons with DeBellin to go out the back, the Hunt to bring finish. That happened very quickly with Kohler in the tackle and his bell lines. It happened in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it did. It was Burns. You see there, Kohler, hand between the leg, put him in an awkward position. Burns okay.
Kohler there.
We'll talk about game management, and Benny Hunt's been terrific for the Dragons tonight. With 14 minutes remaining, 8 points clear in a desperate, critical game. There's been a couple of individuals pushing past Jack Bird. Zach Lomax really needs to take control and steer his team.
Penalty goal just before half-time. Incredibly important at the moment. Just giving the Dragons that breathing space. Laurie on the run. Can it be this set? There's the George Illawarra fans on the edge of their seats again. McCulloch and Hunt outside, but in by floated pass for Fiona. From the line. They've forced 4 line dropouts tonight. The Dragons, a 5th here would be handy. Hunt with it. There's the Bellin. A moan drops back off the right. Smothered in the tackle of Paseka. Play number 4 done for the Dragons. Hunt up to the line, delivers short that time. Good low tackle there. Olakuatu. Cherry Evans over the top. Last play. Hunt got the range on the kick. Manly with it. Harper has got back to the field of play. And then crash tackled in goal.
You ask and you shall receive. Benny Hart steps up to the plate once again. Nice little kick. It looked like Harper was going to get back out before he ran into that man there. The little competitor. As Cherry Evans goes quick and long, and gets it.
Oh, he's tried it 3rd time tonight. He's had a crack at the low one left.
Well, they're parts of the game that they're real game changers. I mean, Zach Lomax, they know what sort of player Cherry Evans is. He got the ball quickly. There's 12 minutes remaining. You need to be on your game, your attention to detail in that area. As the young kid comes on, what a moment it's going to be. Fulfilling a dream, starting his NRL career. Congratulations.
In weeks, and he's been starring in the Manly Junior since he was 14. There's another one from Newington College, out of the GPS rugby system. That is exclusively rugby union. We asked the question again, when are you going to be game enough to play rugby league in your colleges? Why not? So Newington have Cameron Murray, Bailey Simonson, now Weeks. Manly with the ball, forward passing out to Schuster. Doesn't want to give away an obstruction penalty. 11.5 to go. Manly still trailing by 8. The second half has been a really absorbing contest. Only the one try. Walker and Cherry Evans. There's Garrick. On for Kolar. Can't beat Bird. Last tackle, Manly. Got the shot, so what is Garrick doing? Well, Ruben Garrick has got the shot. It's a short side. He's blowing up Deluxe.
There's no captain challenge left.
No, they didn't retake the challenge. They kept the challenge.
Yeah, you can challenge
inconclusive evidence. So he will challenge that he got the ball away before he went over the sideline. Where's Lance? It looked like his toes.
Challenging the decision of being a touch.
Did go out. Touch judge was right on the spot. He couldn't be any closer.
So I'm trying to think of events. If they prove that he hasn't got over, they have to replay the last tackle, will they not? But
I don't know
After the play the ball, Ben Hunt is not square. He interferes with play, which forces Ruben Garrick to go
not
out.
square and marker.
Successful.
My goodness, that becomes huge.
Well, you've got to assume the fact that Garrick took him on down the short side was for that exact reason. Yes, he has gone out, but Hunt's not square. They get the penalty. Wow. And off the back of Daly Cherry Evans been able to find touch. Garrick now penalty.
He has got him there, hook, line and sinker. Ruben Garrick, Manly set, 30 metres out. From the Dragons line, still trailing by 8. We're going into the final 10 minutes. Simply to play it, Weeks there. He's versatile, he can play a number of positions. Sipley and Laurie went on with a bit after that previous play. Walker's flung down. Sipley will say to the referee, what's that all? Weeks. Leading the BB hard-earned index, Josh Allier, really stepped it up this second half. Cherry Evans, he's going to catch that.
A really good read this time from Amar, just coming up out of the line, the same sort of shape they've been facing all this second half. Andrew, the wonderful ability is to be able to adjust. This time puts enough pressure on Foran. You mentioned that BB hard-earned index was 73 points for Josh Allier.
Was up 15 hit-ups, 125 metres, 4 tackle busts and an offload for a line drop for Josh Allier. Good numbers for a front rower. Probably try, throw that in. And Blake Laurie, he was in front of the BB index in the first half. He's up to 119 running metres tonight with 16 hit-ups. Roosters and Knights not too far away. Second match on this Friday night. Let's hope they can play one as tight as this. All level with Manly on the competition table if they win the Dragons. Throw it over to the likes of the Roosters and the Raiders to come with them. The remaining matches this weekend.
Well, that'll help. 6 more now, penalty.